Okay, so 2M, we're just going to be rearranging and wrapping up chapter 2. So remember little equations, find out what you're solving for C. So the opposite of adding B is to subtract B. So C equals, and start from the top. So you're going to start with 4 first. So you're going to write 4 minus B. Number 2, draw your line, you're solving for H. So you're going to get rid of the K first. The opposite of adding K is to subtract K. So HG equals, and remember to start from the top. Okay, so you're going to say R minus K. And then the opposite, again, you're solving for H. So the opposite of multiplying by H is to divide, by G, because H times G. So you're going to divide by G. So H equals, and then put your division sign, put G on the bottom, and then put R minus K on the top. So that whole thing goes on the top. Number 3, solving for A. So I need to get rid of the whole 4B first. So minus 4B, that gets rid of that. So 7A equals C minus 4B. Then the opposite of multiplying by 7 is to divide by 7. So A equals, put your divide by 7, and then put C minus 4B on the top. Solve for B, draw your line, do one at a time. If this is plus 7, you're going to minus 7. The opposite of subtracting A is to add A. Opposite of adding B, subtract B. So you've got B equals, and then just go from the top down, okay? So you start with C, and you have minus 7. I'm just going to mark them off as I go, plus A, and then minus B. Just go in that order, and you're done. Number 2, so we're going to rearrange for Y. So that's the same thing. The opposite of adding Y is to add 4, is to subtract 4. So Y equals negative 8x minus 4, and you're done, because Y is by itself. On number 6, the opposite of adding 3x is to subtract 3x. So Y equals 9 minus 3x. Now, when you are solving for Y, they will usually have the x first. So this is going to be negative 3x, and this is positive 9, so put plus 9. That is how you're going to see it. In the next chapter, you'll recognize that as slope-intercept form. So you might want to get used to rewriting it now. On number 7, solve for Y. So the opposite of subtracting 5x is to add 5x. So Y equals negative 3 plus 5x. But if I rewrite that so that the x is first, since it's positive, I'm just going to say 5x. And then this is minus 3, so put minus 3. That is your answer. And then number 8. So I move negative x to the other side, it becomes positive x. Some students like writing it that way right beside it. That's fine. So Y equals x plus 6. Whichever way makes the most sense to you is fine. Number 9, we're going to do the same thing, but it will be a 2-step. So we are going to move negative 5x to the other side because I'm solving for Y. So the opposite of negative is positive 5x. Now, instead of multiplying by 10, I have to divide by 10. But that means I have to divide each number by 10. I have to divide everything on this side by 10. So in your calculator, see when you divide by 10, I'm getting rid of it. I have to put this in, and this is very important, so I'm going to write it separately. You have to put in 15 divided by 10 in your calculator, and then you have to put 5 divided by 10 in your calculator, all right? So enter each one, 15 tenths. So you make your fraction, control divide, 15 over 10, and hit enter, and you get 3 over 2, 3 halves. So Y equals 3 over 2 plus, now you're going to enter 5 over 10 into your calculator. So control divide 5 over 10, which is a half, 1 over 2. So 1 over 2x. You just bring the x straight down. That is your answer. So Y equals 1/2 x plus 3 halves. And you're done. The next one, So remember, you're solving for y, so 3x has to move, okay? So that instead of a positive 3x, it's a negative 3x. So you've got 6y equals, and you got 12 minus 3x. Well, the opposite of multiplying by 6, I've got to divide by 6. But I have to divide both of them by 6. So y equals, now put this in your calculator, 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 6, and you can write it like that, mix it into a fraction, which is 2. So if it comes out 2, just put 2. And then you've got, now notice this is a negative, but you're not going to put the x in, okay? So control divide, you've got negative 3 over 6. So that's a negative 1/2. So you're going to put minus 1/2 and then bring your x down. Okay, so y equals negative 1/2 x, and that's a positive 2, so plus 2. And there's your intercept form. On the next one, you're solving for y. So the opposite of a positive 10x, it becomes a negative 10x. That goes away. Now I have to get rid of the 4, so I have to divide everything by 4. So y equals, make sure you put that negative in. So negative 16 divided by 4, and you get negative 4. Negative 4, and then you have negative 10 over 4. Now notice I'm entering the negative 10 first. Negative 10 divided by 4. And you get negative 5 over 2. You can either do it as a fraction, or you can enter it with the division. Either way, you get the same thing. You'll put minus 5 over 2. Make sure you drop that x down. That x has to follow. This x has to be behind the correct fraction, or it will be wrong. So y equals negative 5/2 x, and then minus 4. And that is your answer. That's solving for y. On part 4, Surf City charges a base fee of $55. A base fee of 55 just means you're going to have 55 one time. So that means I'm going to put the number 55. And that is plus. And then it says 8 per hour. Well, that goes together. So 8H goes together. 8H to rent a surfboard. Stephen paid $79. So remember, the paid $79, that is like it equals 79. So the total is going to be $79. How many hours did he rent the surfboard? So now I'm going to solve. Okay? So 8H plus 55 equals 79. And some of you are good from solving it from the original, but if you need to rewrite that, it is okay. The opposite of adding 55 is to subtract 55. And so you get 24. And then opposite of multiplying by 8 is to divide by 8. So H equals 3. So how many hours? So Stephen rented the board or the surf for 3 hours. The surfboard for 3 hours. Melanie bought a soft drink for $2 and 5 candy bars. Okay? So she got 2 different things. Alright? On this one, she bought A, which means she got 1 soft drink for $2. So automatically you got 2. And is plus. She got 5 candy bars. I do not know how many candy bars. I don't know how much they cost. So I'm going to use C. So that's 5C. 5 candy bars. She spent a total of 9.5. Remember, total is equal. So it equals $9.50. So how much did each candy bar? Okay? Notice it says each candy bar. The candy bar should be my times, and that's what that is the times. So I did that correctly. Okay? Now you can rewrite this, or you can solve it from here. The opposite, remember there's not anything in front, that's like a positive. So instead of plus 2, that is minus 2. Now, some of you don't want to do this on your calculator. You think you can do it in your head, but some of you do it wrong. So take the time to put that in your calculator. It should be $7.50. $9 minus $2. Okay, but if some of you might line up the 2 in the wrong spot, so be careful. The opposite of multiplying by 5 is to divide by 5. So then you take your 750 and then you divide by 5 and you get $1.50. So each candy bar cost $1.50. Okay? Each candy bar was $1.50. And then it says the sum of twice a number. So a keyword is sum, and then you also have twice a number, and then it says and 12 equals -14. Now, I'm going to give you a little hint right here. Where it says sum of, the sum goes where the and is, and sum means add, so the and is your plus. Twice a number, remember twice is when you have a big 2, so 2n. So 2n plus, and then you have 12. Equals is the equal sign, and then you got -14. Now you can solve it. What is the number? So draw your line, opposite of adding 12, this is subtracting 12. So 2n equals -26. Opposite of multiplying by 2 is to divide by 2, so n equals -13. So my number is -13. Now on this one, the keywords are product of a half and a number is 23. Again, where you see the and, that and, since product means times, and is times. So you have a half times n. So a half n is going to be the equal sign. Is always equals, and then you've got 23. Now remember, a half n can be written n over 2. All you're doing is you're putting the n in the numerator. So n over 2 equals 23. And the opposite of dividing is to multiply. So 2 times 23. So you just multiply 2 times 23. So n equals 46. The number is 46. 2 less than. So you've got less than. And remember, less than means to switch, and it's a minus. So you've got 2 less than 5 times a number. Okay, that word times means to multiply. So you're going to do 5 times n. So 5 times n minus 2, and then you have is the equal sign, -17. So the opposite of subtracting 2 is to add 2. So 5n equals -15. The opposite of multiplying by 5 is to divide by 5. So n equals -3. So the number is -3. And that is just a mixture of everything we've done in chapter 2.